A kind of agile technique also we are already doing. Like we are doing extensive discussion before and have the code done according to the consent of various things which is happening here. It's not showing. 1 second. Is here Ajax actors. It's HTML5 influence. So agile training is over. I think something was on schedule, right? Agile, some sort of training. Okay, you may encounter in some time your emulator may not be visible, which is not available, but where your emulator is still running. You may do, I already explained you, ADM, Android device monitor, click on the small arrow button, reset ADB, Android debug bridge. It will reset and try to establish a new connection. That time your emulator could be found. So not necessary you need to close this emulator and restart again. Try to set the ADB. Chances are there it may get, see, within 1 second connection attempt it got reconnected. I think today I'm going to get into register activity because my requirement right now is to do the image part. I already understand I have a place where I could add the image. I mean there is an image we already present, but hard-coded image exists. Second. Yeah, I just added a hard-coded image. Let me put the default one. Later I'll give you an exclusive image saying that tap to change the image, something we'll put it over there. As of now, I'm just going to go back to one. Image view as a kind of like the same like HTML IMG, it will maintain the aspect ratio. Mean when a width is adjusted automatically the height will also adjust so that the resultant image will be always have the same aspect ratio. If you really want to maintain that, you may always prefer to give match parent wrap content kind of stuff instead of hard coding any value. In this case, we have given adjusted the width, so let's see that will automatically, because whatever the available space, automatically the image is going to get adjusted. We'll go ahead and create. So where to give a choice? I'm going to need a image view to be initialized first. What's the idea? I don't know. So I give so ID strange. So name my pick. I would advise you to pay attention here because I'm going to touch the multiple concepts. Some parts are from Java, something from Android, so it's going to be mixed. Sorry, image. Surely I may require this as a global, so I'll now itself and keep it declared as a object outside of this on create method. The on-click listener could be added to anything. They use a tap on an image. We are going to do something. Okay, we need to give a user choice of importing an image from a camera or what do you call gallery. For time being, I'll first start with camera. When that goes successfully, we'll think about adding the gallery part. This implicit intents mean the system intent. The one I'm looking for, the camera, is defined inside the media store action image capture. It's a constant. It will automatically find the intent name, the app name. So it will try to bring the list of apps which is classified for image capture, mostly camera apps. My phone has two or three camera apps, so I have a different camera app. So if you have more than one app, you will be first given a choice which app you want to take, and in that, if you pick the camera, then it will go ahead and take the picture. Otherwise, if you have only one single app which is for classified for image capture, automatically it will go into that application. Okay, media, and subsequently we seems to have a video capture as well, but if requirement comes, we'll see if we have to record something from our app. Since the file is going to be created, I need to tell media store extra output the path where you want to write your image, or where you want to save your image which is taken by your camera. I had to decide about it. Start activity for result is very important because uh, obvious reason, the camera is going to send me some data back. So if you are expecting some results to come, the start activity for result is the ideal one. So the intent, the request code, I have time to define the constants. What do we give? Any number will do. Okay. That's it. It will try to open the camera app, but it won't work now because we haven't given the output path, and we have already supplied the. Sorry, it should be request path, right? Request code. So few things I need to do if I try to access a camera which you are trying to write it in your SD card, because you have option to write an external data only on the SD card or external memory, not in your file system where your application is stored. System files are not allowed to be changed. System file mean operating system files. So you need to have the additional storage which is given by Android as a SD card or built-in storage also. Most of the phone comes with the built-in storage nowadays. Some phone have a SD card provision. So whatever it is, I could write the data only on there, only not in the system or operating system file environment. If you want to imagine in your computer, for Windows, you don't have access to write in C drive. You have to imagine in that way. So you can only write in D drive or somewhere, some other partition. So that's an option. So this should be an external path where you can write your image and you are trying to access a camera. To do this, first I need to inform my manifest. I'm going to do something. Permissions. There are two type of permission. Users permission mean a permission defined by an app. To access a camera app, you always need to have a permission called camera. It's already getting it. It's pretty clever. To write external storage, you need to have a permission. Write external storage. I recently accessed them, that's why the hierarchy changed, but usually it won't be found so easily. You will be having control space, you need to find it. Okay, patiently find it. Write external storage. Okay, two permission you need to have it. One is to access the camera, second is to write the data, write the data external storage. It means now you have your application can access the SD card, and your application can also open an app called camera. This user permission usually defined by the apps like camera or the rules defined by the storage card. You can also create your own permission. Custom permission also can be created. Uh, Assuming your application, you're going to share some data with some other app. That time you may create your own app permission and tell in the manifest, anyone want to access my app, you need to get a permission. So you can define that, but as of now, only two permission I'm going to get. Let us plan where we are going to store the data. Before calling the camera, because I'm sure the camera can be called, but we need to define the path. Set. I'm going to say URI for URI universal resource identifier, because the entire path I'm going to give for camera. Particularly, this may not be required for galleries or anything which you're trying to pick it, because those things which is already existing. Okay, let me start creating a file. I'm trying to create a directory for my application called SMSReplier. Any images going to be created will be written in that directory or not. So SMS reply images, some name. You can create a file from the scratch. You need to tell the entire path where you want to create this file. The Android's SD card external storage can be accessed through a global class or static class called environment. Get external storage public directory mean the built-in name. When you put your SD card, automatically pictures, images, some folders it's already created for you. So those public images, otherwise public directories. Otherwise, we can simply get into a root, and then you can create your own. Uh, okay, public directory. It is expecting a string inside. Okay, let me create it. Yeah, directory pictures. If your SD card contains a directory called picture, it will be there, because Android, the moment you insert an SD card, it will create certain public directories for you. So pictures, music, uh, DCIM, something for I think for images or camera pictures, it will create certain files. Or if your if your phone does contain a built-in internal storage, that will already have those things. So environment is very safe, because certain phones may have SD card, certain phones may not support SD card, but environment try to get access to an external storage, be it internal or external. There will be some space where I can publicly write. So it will get an access to it, and you can give the directory, say SMS. This is the directory it will create inside. So this file is actually pointing to a directory, assume slash SD card slash picture slash SMS reply. It's just a directory, remember. I need to make sure if SMSReplier file is already existing, this directory already existing. If not, I think if not, create directory. mkdir, make directory, DOS command, if you remember, it's a Linux command actually. So it will create a folder called SMSReplier inside your SD card the moment it executes this line, because I need to make sure the folder already exists so that I can write my images inside that folder. If it is not there, it will create. If it is already there, simply skip it. Okay. So this is where the files are going to be kept. Now I need to give an image name. So assume this is the image name. Okay, I'll make it. Now I need to give a full name. What's the name I can give? Some name. This is the name of the file it is going to create inside. I'm going to put it inside this SMS replier directory. Okay, so this directory I need to make sure first created. If it is created already, it will get the path plus. Now you are inside the folder called SMS replier. File separated means slash. It may be backward slash or forward slash depending on the operating system. That's why Java cleverly put file dot separated. If you are running in a Linux environment, it will put the backslash, or if you are running in a Windows environment, it will put automatically slash according to the operating system. But it is safe to use it. Of course, it's a Linux one, Android, and your file name. So this is where your profile picture is going to be created. Let me return it. Sorry, it should be from the file. This URI.from file will find the exact full path of your file. In fact, this file is not existing. I'm just creating a folder structure. I'm creating empty file, but which is the file is no more existing, but simply giving this is where I'm going to keep my image. So this path is actually going to be given for the camera to write. Two stages I separated. I could have done it one single path, but I wanted to make it the first part, the directory is created for me so that I can subsequently create images and save it over there. Second one, the file name where the actual profile picture is going to be taken, and it's going to be saved inside this SMS replier path and separated, and the comma, the file name, whatever name. Remember, I have hard coded the file name, so subsequent camera images if you take, it will override the images which is already created. It may not be safe, but fine to start with. We need an activity for result to capture the result. Okay. We gotta make sure request code equal to, what's the name again? Image request code. I really don't know what is the result code it is going to send. You know that in our case, the request code is to launch an activity which, by expecting some result, may come from the activity. But the activity which is about to get closed may send a result code or may not send a result code. I'm not sure. And that too, I don't know what kind of result code it is going to send. So I need to find it, in fact. So what I'll do, put a toast. Need a string. So I'll just see what kind of result code I'm going to get. So I'll come to know what if I take an image, which result code is coming. What if I don't take an image or don't take a picture, what kind of request code? Sorry, I want a result code, sorry. Because I'm only sure about request code, I'm not sure about the result code. Okay. So when the user click on the image icon, it opens and does something. going to do something, but okay, but I had to capture the image, but I don't know about the result code. So for that I need to find it. Let me first start. I tapped on it. In fact, my webcam is treated as a camera in this case. So my picture is showing, I hope. Okay. So if I take a picture, it is asking me, shall I cancel or okay? I said okay. I think I'm getting a result for stating -1. When you take a picture, okay. If I don't take a picture, what is coming? Let me see. Cancel. 0. So there is some sort of difference coming. Okay. Now we have to do that. I'm not sure always the same number will come. So Android always maintains certain constants to guide you. That's what the -1 and 0. In fact, you would have seen it. I'm also pretty influenced. I always use a -1, 0 flags wherever required. So if result code equal to result OK is actually the value -1. If you just echo it, you'll find out. There's no way to read the documentation. It actually, yeah, here it is. It is actually constant value -1 if you see the document. So result OK always consider as the -1 value, which is nothing but the image has been taken by the camera. Anything else comes, uh, no image picked or taken. So here I am getting an image. Now I need to get it back. Okay. First thing, there are various ways to do it. Content resolver, the global database, get content resolver will give access to your content resolver. Get content resolver is a built-in method which is there in the activity. Now you have access to your global database. Now I need to find where exactly my image is located. First thing, I need to get the argument data. Get data will give you a image URI, because if you remember the intent, get extras mean the string primitive data type. Get data mean it will return you a URI, which is particularly helpful if you wanted to retrieve a data which is having an image type or some other streamable type. So if you get access to it, you'll get a URI of the particular image which has been taken, and that you can search it in a database whether the image is already existing. Then you can go ahead and create your bitmap. So let me create a bitmap from it. Again, I need to get a help of media store, because that's where my image is being saved. And, images, slightly tricky here. I think the media, get bitmap, yeah. So there is a method get bitmap. Tell the content resolver in this folder search for a URI which your camera returned, then you'll have your bitmap ready. And some sort of exceptions around with try catch. because when you try to retrieve a file which may be corrupted or may not be present something, so just it is asking you to put it inside the exception block. If anything goes wrong, it will call the catch block, or if it works, it will capture the bitmap. Bitmap is a raw data of your image. So now got my bitmap. I have my image view. Set image bitmap method is there. I can directly put a bitmap to that. What is this image URI? Will see it. What is exactly? Maybe I'll put a toast here. I need to know what is that exactly. Get path will give you the string readable format of the exact path. So what is actually returning, we'll see. It will anyway throw a toast. Then we'll come to know whether the image could be captured and put it in the image view. To make your webcam part to work, you should have a web camera. So unfortunately, you don't have. But for that, you will see some sort of a matrix kind of thing. It will emulate a camera. So assuming your phone is taking a camera, so you have to assume so some sort of square box kind of thing will come. Then it will be treated as an image. Okay, something goes wrong terribly here. Let's see. Okay, let's see if anything went wrong. We don't see anything. This is something else. Failure delivering result info null request. Null pointer. Attempt to invoke a virtual method. Android content get data on null object reference. Okay, it looks something wrong here. Okay, I have a couple of hacks. What it's trying to say me is the data get data throwing something wrong. It doesn't have a value. Okay. I don't think I already know the URI which I'm sending. Instead of trying to retrieve from here, I will come to know why it is not actually giving me a value. But anyway, I put a result okay, result for everything looks fine. It happened quite a bit sometime also. So what I'm going to do, image URI is a global value. I'm going to hold the particular image URI here itself. So anytime when the camera try to create an image which is being set through extra output, I will be knowing the image URI. Instead of depending on this guy, I can directly convert. Let's see. Got it. Uh, it actually gave me the path of where my image has been stored. So it captured an image. I think this guy had some sort of tough time. It did not get back the data, but seriously, I don't see any issues. How do I find whether the image has been taken and has been written? ADM has an option to debug. I think I closed it. It's called Android Device Monitor. Click on your device and check the file explorer. Will load the file system, and in that data, sorry, SD card. Something you need to find SD card. Storage. Actually, this is a Symlink storage SD card. In that, the public directory which we access pictures, in that it created a folder called SMSReplier. In that, it has kept my file. So we any images what we are going to create will always be in the folder called SMSReplier, and there it will be found. Uh, if you have a file explorer app in your phone, you can very well see in your phone itself. I had to save it, so it will disappear. I don't think I have a file explorer over here. If you restart, I think SD card. If you restart your emulator, it will find and somewhere search your picture and show you here itself. But not to depend on it. Make sure you go to Android Device Monitor where your image is being created. Just check it. If everything goes right, you will find your image here. The problem here is any picture I take will be overridden, so I may be losing my list of icons or pictures, but which is particularly fine at this point because this application is going to save only one image. So if I take another picture, let me get difference. If you see, it's not overriding. So I need to do something to make sure I always get the right picture. I'm going to create a unique picture every time, so there should be some way to make it. Random number, so we create set double string. Let's see if that works. Always a sort of a random number will come, so a new file every time when a camera tries to access. I put it in 2 lines. So still not. Just putting the older one alone. Let me try one more time. But I still see a different images created for me. GUI get path, content resolver, get bitmap, set image should be fine. What exactly going on? I do notice different images being created. Okay, let's see. File separator from file, profile picture. This is what we are returning. This is what the camera is taking. Set URI. Same URI I'm accessing. Image view. Set image bitmap. From the content resolver. It's correct. Hopefully I'm getting the right one, but this resolver is not giving me the right. There is one more way is there to find it from the stream reader. This is the easiest one. The URI can also be directly put. Let me directly call it instead of going through it. Oh, it's the right one. Do I need to come closer to take a picture to update? I really don't know. Okay. Differentiate something. I think I noticed the difference. In fact, it's taking correct only. If you notice the fast movement which is happening, I need to wait for something to static. Okay, let me stay. It's just taking quite faster. That's it. Since I'm making my movement, I'm seeing the other image as if I'm not seeing the right image, but it's correct only. So anyway, it is taking. I think I'll go back to the previous one. Doing through the content resolver is always good. So, in fact, doing a random also, there is one more way. That's a nice way of which I introduced last time. Putting a timestamp on your image itself, image file itself. So, what time, what minute the image has been taken. So, for that, it will also give me an option to tell you a new object called calendar. Calendar get instance mean the current absolute time of your device, exact time through up to a millisecond. Mean uh, at present almost 12:41 and minutes and some seconds, some milliseconds, some value would be there. So exact time it will take along with the date. So from there, I can create a file system. For that, I'm going to format my data, simple date format. Format the data according to your choice. Say DD. First two digits are date, second two digits are month, four digits are year, underscore hours, minutes, seconds. Let me follow the local English. In Spanish may have a different convention, so we are going to format as per the English format, English language format. So string file name format. Okay. So your get time means your current timestamp along with your date, month, year, plus millisecond, whatever values. It's being formatted in this way. So this file name will always be unique because millisecond time is also there. Second, every second the time will be varied. This file name I'm going to give. That will be more appropriate than the previous time. Okay, if you see this, okay, what's that? ADM. So it was 26 second month 2015, 12:42 19 second. So we can keep this naming format if required. So whatever format you can, according to you, you can keep the file naming. So this is fine. Okay, so we are done with the camera. Let us see if we could incorporate the another one which we can access from, what do you call, gallery or any thing where I can pick the image. In fact, I am pretty confused why this part is not working, because very well I am sending the data as extra output, but why it is not capturing, I'm not sure. I'm time being, I want to test it one more time, just I uncommented it. because if I have this particular part kept here, the both the code will be same except the intent. It means whether we are picking from an already existing source or a new source. If I keep this part here, the same code I can reuse it. I'm not sure why it won't work. It's not working. Okay, forget about it. Now we need to give it two choice here so that the user can pick either from a local resource or from a camera. So I need to give a choice here. Now I'm going to so we introduce a context menu, but context menu will come only if I long press the item. That's not a preferred one. Let me introduce a dialog here. So we'll give a user whether you want to take a picture or find in the local source. Dialogs is nothing but a kind of layout inflation again, mean a layout on top of another. But this time the dialog is actually defined in the system resource itself, so that it can be floated anywhere, even though you can fire a dialog from a service also, but which is not a preferred one. But I'll let you know how to create a dialog. All dialogs are defined in a class called alert dialog. The dialog creation happens in two stages. First stage, define the attributes, the look and feel of your dialog using a builder. Second stage, open the dialog. Throw the dialog in the UI. So first part, I need to create a builder. So expect context. Set title. Just put a select. Set items. I need to have items here, so string items mean choice. Choice we are giving. Builder set items. Actual character sequence are required, but string of arrays also comes under that only. And on click listen. We notice there is a on-click listener which is for a dialog interface. It's a different. In this you already have a which option. So if which equal to 0, the first item, which is going to be for camera. Transfer it here. Second is for the file system. We'll write the code. Now I'm going to throw a dialog instead of directly opening the camera. Let the user pick the choice. Based on the choice, either the camera or file system will be launched, but I am not done yet. Set cancelable set to true. Anytime user can dismiss the view. And now time to fire the alert dialog. Builder create from the alert dialog. Show. This is the second stage. From the builder, the alert dialog is created and the alert dialog is going to be displayed using show. The very first stage is creating the definition or the look and feel or attribute definition of your dialog, stating that what it is going to contain as the title heading. The second, which one it is going to be displayed. In this case, the two choice going to be displayed, which is called string items, and based on the click of that items, the subsequent intent would be called. And of course, I'm setting cancel with true mean user can hit the back button, dismiss the dialog. If I set false mean user hit the back button also, the dialog won't be dismissed. So I'm already calling it. Now if I click it, if you see two choices are coming. From camera or from files. If I click the camera, it will go to camera and do as of course it will take a picture. The second choice I have to write. It's not doing it. So I can give choice to the user which one he wants to go. I think the select is not looking good because this is a current theme. We don't want the select also. Let it just set the title, comment it. Okay, so two choice. Let the user pick whatever required. Okay, the second part also will complete. This time is a generic intent. I'm going to search my phone using MIME type, internet media types. Internet media type, if you want, you can Wikipedia it. Internet media type mean image of PDF or something TXT. There are certain classifications are there for MIME type. Probably internet connection is good. I'll let you know. There is a good article on Wikipedia. See, internet media types mean certain classification the files being defined. For example, yeah, here it is. Application XML mean XML zip format, which we usually put it on the header so that the browser can either decide. For example, if it reads the header as zip file, mean it will go give option to download. If you give an option to image, the browser will try to display it instead of giving option to download. So it is just a classification as being defined in a standard way. So image, for image classification, it will, if I give image slash GIF mean I'm trying to search only the images of GIF type. I'm trying to search only the image type of JPEG or something. So these are all these things are getting extended. So video format, these are all the internet MIME types. But so explaining about it beyond to the scope of this training program still. But using this MIME type, I'm going to search my phone so that relevant choices could be brought up and I can get the pictures from there. So I'll go back. Intent set type. This is where the MIME type is going to be put. Any images, image slash star. Intent set action. Intent action get content is another constant. So from the MIME types, it will try to get the content from there. If you define it, I'll show you when I show the output only you may get it. Intent set action being done. Start activity for result. Intent timing I'll use the same one. Then later I'll do a different request code. This intent instead of that intent. This create chooser should give you an option. Title. For example, there may be more than one image editing app. Not only gallery will display the list of images, there may be your Facebook contain their own image gallery, if WhatsApp contain its own image gallery. So if you really want to pick your image from various choosers, it will give you a choice here if you have more than one application. So let's see how this is going to be displayed. Anyway, I'm using the same request code, but it will throw an error at this point. So I'll do one thing, I'll just comment this guy for time. This particular application contains only one. I think I don't have WhatsApp or Facebook here. With multiple applications present, it will show up. I'll run in my phone, then probably I can display that. But anyway, I'll pick this guy even there. Let me run it on my phone. Phone contains various data. If you connect your phone, the phone name will be automatically shown over here. You can install your application directly on the phone. So it's getting installed. I'll show you the screenshot once I'm reaching to that screen. Once I click on this, I'm getting some choices here. See, I have other apps which is also kind of maintaining the files, gallery, photos, Dropbox. So from there also I can pick an image. If your phone contains multiple apps, which the image can be taken from there. So this choice will be put if you use the create choose or something, but it will only show the image data. I mean only the images, so that I can pick it from here. So this will slightly have a different look and feel across other devices because 4.x has a different choice and the devices containing 2.x and onwards till 4.0 had a different chooser. But anyway, this works. But I want to make sure both the thing works perfectly same time. If I have this part uncommented, my camera fails. But if I need to have this part to get the data from a file system or gallery. Let me run the code one more time to check. Work. This works. So we'll see if any if condition could be added over here. It's actually not extras. Both the guys work. I'm just trying to see whether the incoming type does not contain any extra values. In such a case, it is camera. If it contains something, it is through the file system. Good. Okay, I have only one choice now. Having a different request code for camera and the gallery. Change, so this will have a different request code, so I can only thing for that one single code I need to have a separate block. For a file, data, get data required. For image, for camera, it is not. Whereas the image URI, it's actually been created by the set URI for camera. The second one, the to be already existing URI is being taken. So that's the only difference. But otherwise, the codes are same. It will be made. Even we are very clever. still maintaining the modularity. Camera. Camera works. File also works. So both the case, I could implicitly call some other intent, pick my desired data using camera or the file system. Uh, Sincerely, I have no idea why this part is going null. My understanding, before calling the camera, I'm telling the path of the media store, maybe the time difference. uh, the media store writing the file, maybe this on activity result is accessing that file just before the file is being written. Maybe the file was not ready for some time. If you put a delay, it may work, but never mind, we already found a relevant fix. So this data, get data, will work if I'm taking an already existing file because the file is already created. Whereas in this point, the file is yet to be created because it is being created by the camera. So that's the reason this image URI this time I predefinedly call before while I call the camera object itself, and the second one I'm just expecting the image URI from the bundle, which the intent data, the bundle or whatever bundle being sent by the activity of a file system. And we also use the dialogues here to display the choices as string items, and based on the index of the item clicks, I can execute two different intents, one being camera, the second being the local resource using the MIME type. It will search in your phone having an image type of any extension, and it will try to get the content from it, and I'm calling a chooser so that if there is more than one application contains which is classified as a image repository or gallery file system or whatever it is, so from there it will pick an image. Of course it is also already having a different request code, and when the results are landing, the non-activity result will be called. Subsequently it will try to display the image from the image URI just right here. So the toast, I kept it as it is. You may differentiate, okay, what kind of image resources are coming back. So if you notice, the image path will be different if you try to access from a file system. If you are trying to access from camera, it will be the one which you created using uh, uh, file handlers or something what you use this code. So in both the case, now we are managed to add a user icon here. Now we need to save it. That's another problem. But it's pretty easy because the image is already saved. All we need to save the path of the image, uh, because we already save everything in either in SD card through the file system or probably the same folder which we created. So if you could save the path of the file, anytime I can get the file from the SD card and display it. So saving is not going to be the difficult one. Later point, I may go ahead and customize the look and feel as the custom view. Also, I will go ahead and create like with the different font systems. But I want you to complete the preference manager so that these data can be saved. I'll also write it, but not on the screen. I'll write it since you know it already. So next part, I'm going to save them, and subsequently I'm going to attach the validation of a pin so that we can go ahead and proceed the main content area where we can display the SMSReplier messages. That's it. Load the source codes. Once you come back from your lunch break, you can start this hands-on part. Now you can go for lunch break.